Okay, Pidgin versus Creole. A Pidgin is a simplified makeshift language. Simplified makeshift language. So what do we mean by makeshift? Inimbento lang. That develops between groups with no common language using limited vocabulary and basic grammar primarily for trade or communication. Wala siyang mga native speakers. Ang Creole naman, fully developed. So language na yung Creole. That arises when a Pidgin becomes the first language of a community, expanding in vocabulary and grammar to meet all communicative needs, meaning it is learned naturally by children and used in everyday life. Okay, so para maintindihan nyo to, let's let's give you a scenario. So I call this the Pidgin to Creole test. So inimbento ko lang to. Okay, inimbento ko lang tong test na to. I'm taking law kasi ngayon, but once I'm done with my law degree, I'm gonna take my master's majoring in English. Or baka gusto kong mag-master in linguistics. But either way, ang gusto kong gawin na hypothesis test is the Pidgin to Creole test. So this is my hypothesis or my theory. Let's say, apat kayo na stranded sa isang island. Let's say na natutulog ka and then you just woke up in a random island and walang tao talaga whatsoever. Walang tao whatsoever. May pagkain naman sa island na yan. And then, boom, bigla kang naka-encounter ng tatlong tao. Unfortunately, na-identify mo rin na one of them speaks Japanese, one of them speaks Japanese, one of them speaks Russian, and one of them speaks Brazilian. And none of them knows how to speak English. And ikaw mismo, hindi ka rin marunong mag-Japanese or mag-Russian or mag-Brazilian. So, how will you survive all four of you sa island na yan? Paano kayo magko-communicate? That's the most important part eh. Paano magko-communicate? Paano mo sasabihin na may ahas doon may ahas doon? Eh hindi makita nung hapon. Hindi niya makita kung nasan yung ahas. So aside from the fact na nagtuturo ka lang, kasi pag nagtuturo ka lang, hindi niya pa rin alam kung may ahas ba doon or kung ahas ba yung dinidiscuss mo. 'Di ba? So how will you communicate? Fast forward, 3 months na kayong nasa island na yan. And nakaimbento na kayo ng way of communication. Hindi pa siya fully developed na language, pero nakaimbento na kayo ng way kung paano kayo magko-communicate. So, ang ginawa nyo is pinag-mixture nyo yung Japanese, Russian, Brazilian, and Filipino. Pinag-mixture nyo. And that's what we call a pidgin. Pidgin na siya. So, bigyan ko kayo ng examples. During the British trade along the West African coast, okay, English merchants interacted with many local groups who spoke different languages. So dahil magkakaiba sila ng language na ginagamit, obviously, the British people, na English yung alam nila, hindi sila makapag-communicate ng maayos sa mga merchants. So, ano ginawa nila? They developed a simplified mix English vocabulary and African grammar. So para magkaintindihan sila with the merchants, they combined English and African para makadevelop ng tinatawag nating West African Pidgin English. So take a look at the vocabulary. Nigerian Pidgin expressions. In English, please. In Nigerian Pidgin, it's going to be abeg. Abeg. Bakit sa tingin mo abeg? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng beg? Beg. Beg, this is synonymous to please, di ba? Please, I'm begging you. And then kinumbine yung a. Itong a, we can assume na galing to sa Nigerian language. You too much. You too much. And that's thank you or good job. Eh dahil nga hindi naman marunong mag-English yung mga African nakatrade nila, pero naririnig nila sa mga British people na pagtapos maggawa ng transaction, sasabihin nila, thank you so much. So akala ng mga Nigerians, pag sinabing ganun, that's going to be a thank you. Sasabihin na lang nila, you too much. Ito naman, I sabi. I sabi. So, nalaman ng mga Africans na pag sinabing I, that means ako. So, pag sinabi naman nating sabi, understand yun in Nigerian. So, kinumbine nila yung English word na I sabi, nagkakaintindihan ngayon both part. So, I know get is a simplified version of I don't have or I don't understand. Ang point ko dito, class, pag sinabi nating pidgin, ito yung gagamitin nyo, kukombine mo yung mga languages para magkaintindihan kayo. So, makeshift simplified siya. Basic and limited na grammar lang yung gagamitin. And wala pa siyang native speaker. Pag sinabi nating native speaker, ibig sabihin, nakasanayan na ng taong to na gamitin yung language na yan. And yun nga, kadalasan ginagamit ang pidgin para sa trade or communication. Punta naman tayo sa Creole. Alright, so baguhin natin yung situation sa island na to. So in this island, imbis na apat na tao lang kayo, sorry, imbis na apat na tao lang kayo, let's assume na 300 na Pilipino, 300 na Japanese, 300 na Russian, 300 na Brazilian ang nakatira sa island na to. So naturally, hindi kayo magpaparehas ng language, diba? And then fast forward tayo, let's say 200 years na nakalipas. O wag naman pala 200 years, ganito na lang. Let's say 50 years na ang nakalipas sa lugar na to. Obviously, dahil sobrang tagal na, nung unang mga panahon pa lang, pidgin pa lang. Pero dahil tumagal na ng tumagal, nag-fuse talaga yung Tagalog, Japanese, Russian at Brazilian to the point na nagkaroon na tinatawag nating a Creole. So, balik tayo sa definition. Okay? A Creole is a fully developed, stable language that arises when a pidgin becomes the first language of a community, expanding in vocabulary and grammar to meet all communicative needs, meaning it is learned naturally by children and used in everyday life. So kung babalik tayo sa example dito, no, pag umabot na ng 200 years na yung nakalipas, yung 300 na Filipino, 300 na Japanese, 300 na Russian, 300 na Brazilian, nagpakasal sila, nagkaroon ng mga anak. Siyempre, yung mga sinaunang tao nakatira sa island na yan, nakadevelop sila ng pidgin, and then yung mga naging anak nila, namana nila yung pidgin na yun, and then they spoke to other people as well within the same island, hanggang sa tumagal na tumagal, naka 200 years na, nakadevelop sila ng isang unified na language arising from Tagalog, Japanese, Russian, and Brazilian, and that's what we call a Creole. Okay? So ang pidgin kadalasan ginagamit po ito for trading, no? So there were multiple cases. For example, nung pumunta yung mga Chinese dito sa Pilipinas para mga lakal, this is pre-colonial bago pa dumating yung mga Espanyol or Kastila. Nung pumunta yung mga Chinese dito sa ating mga dalampasigan at nangalakal sila sa mga daturahan natin, malamang hindi naman sila marunong mag-Tagalog. Marunong sila mag-Chinese pero hindi sila marunong mag-Tagalog. So how did they communicate with our people? Well, simpli-simpli ang Chinese, simpli-simpli ang Tagalog. Ganon sila nagkaintindihan. Pero let's say nagsettle dito yung mga Chinese ng sobrang tagal, umabot sila ng 300 years, no? Ganon na magkakaroon ng Creole. It's inevitable, magkakaroon talaga ng Creole. Ang pinaka-famous na example of a Creole is Chavacano. So Chavacano is a Spanish-based Creole language spoken in parts of the Philippines, pero mas spoken siya sa Zamboanga City. So in Zamboanga, ang ginagamit nila ay Chavacano. It was developed during the Spanish colonial period when Spanish soldiers, administrators, and missionaries interacted with the local populations who spoke different native languages. So, sa Zamboanga, sa part na yan, no, ang dami nilang iba't ibang lengguwahe. So, para magkain sila, syempre, nagsimula muna sa Pidgin, and then nag-evolve to into a Creole. Because there was no common language, a simplified Spanish-based Pidgin emerged from communication and later naging Creole na siya and yun na yung naging first language doon sa lugar na yun and eventually umabot na siya through different generations. Okay? So, panoorin niyo itong video na to sa YouTube. This is a Spanish person talking to a Javacano. So kung ayaw mo panoorin, let me just tell you the summary. Nagkakaintindihan naman sila kahit papano. Kasi nga, yung Chavacano, this is mainly Spanish. Mainly Spanish siya. Pero may halo siya ng mga iba't ibang Filipino languages. May Cebuano, may Tagalog. So naintindihan naman nila yung isa't isa kahit papano. Pero it's wrong to say na ang Chavacano is a dialect of Spanish. No, it's not a dialect of Spanish. Dahil kung papanoorin mo nga yung video na to, there's a lot of vocabulary na ibang-iba talaga. And in terms sa grammar structure, nagkakalituhan pa sila. Like, yung mga Espanyol, they're used to this sentence pattern. And then biglang nun Chavacano na iba, although same words nang ginamit, na iba pa din. So, kung papanoorin mo tong video na to, somehow nagkakaintindihan sila pero there's difficulty. So, yan ang ibig sabihin ng Creole. Once again, let's summarize our topic. When we say pidgin, this is what happens when a group of people na walang common language at may kanya-kanya silang language ay nagkasama-sama at para makaimbento sila ng way na makapag-communicate, they will create pidgin. Fast forward, let's say tumagal na yan ng ilang taon. Let's say mga 50 years and so on. Etong pidgin na to, na-recognize na siya at mas nag-evolve pa na mana ng mga anak. It will eventually become a Creole, which is a stabilized language na arising from a pidgin. Alright, so for our next discussion is going to be about introduction to phonetics. Bye for now.